Hello, my name is Dr. Richard Harris, and welcome to Wellness Journey Monday, a 5 minute-ish hot take on something that I'm walking through or someone I'm close to is walking through in their wellness journey. So today we're talking about the entrepreneurial spirit and how it's really affected my health. And it's really done so by providing a sense of purpose. And we know that that's one of the strongest things that correlates with health is having a sense of purpose. That's why there's some really good data out there that shows that people, when they retire, it shortens their lifespan thereafter, because if you retire without a plan, if you just go from, like someone I know, cough, cough, dad, go from being a highly functioning executive in charge of billions of dollars to sitting on your couch watching daytime TV all day, you're going to get depressed. You're going to lose that sense of purpose. And then the body just slowly kind of shuts down. And so it's very important to have that sense of purpose, have that drive. And the entrepreneurial spirit has given that to me, to the point where some days I work 18-hour days and I don't feel tired. I don't feel fatigued. I don't feel stressed, because I know I'm walking in my purpose, and those days are adding value and helping people live a life full of wellness. And so I don't feel bad about that, because I know I'm helping people, and I feel like that's my purpose. Now, another thing about the entrepreneurial spirit that has really impacted my health is making sure that I always invest in myself. And this is something I'm still working on. I want to begin to honor the Sabbath, have that day of rest. I'm really, really bad about that. But I know I need to, because I know I am my best asset. It's what I tell my clients, it's what I tell everyone. And so I need to start incorporating that more into my life and taking that day of rest to recharge. And so I've gotten a little bit more intentional over the last couple of weeks about scheduling rest and pushing deadlines. And it's hard because a lot of the hospital work I do on the side is on weekends. And those are the days that usually I have less on my schedule. But there are also times I use to catch up. So I'm still trying to figure out that balance. And I think what I want to start doing is having Saturday after a certain time, like 3 p.m., 4 p.m. or something like that, be a Sabbath time where I rest. It may have to switch it to Sundays. It depends on my work at the hospital. Another thing about the entrepreneurial spirit that has affected my health is small changes can lead to big differences. And I kind of incorporate this with failure. We talked about how I don't believe there's such a thing as failure. There are things that I've done that have not been a success. At first, and even now, there are certain things on the business side that I'm not successful. And I'll be the first one to completely and totally mention that there are things that I'm doing that are not successful. There are things that I'm doing that are successful. And things I'm doing that are successful right now are majorly not financial, but I know they will be. I'm very long on a lot of things, and that's the way I think. I think long term, but I also think about impact. And sometimes it's hard, having a podcast and this channel. You don't really get to know who you're impacting or if you're making a difference. But then I just rely on my faith and my purpose, where I feel like I'm leading my purpose. And then I remember that I'm not reaching for the masses. I'm just trying to help one person at a time. And as long as I remember those things, then I'm okay. And again, these are small changes. And applying little things over time may see big results. And so if something doesn't go the way I want it to go, instead of just scratching the entire project, I tweak things and say, okay, what about if I try this? What about if I change this word? What about if I approach it from this different angle? And I keep doing that, and you keep iterating and iterating and iterating until you find something that works. And I'm still working on that with my client flow. I'm still working on that with my videos. I'm still working on that with my podcast. Every single week I feel like I get a better grasp of reaching my audience, providing value, and walking into my purpose. But I'm not quite there yet. And I always tell people, if you love the process, the results will come. And I do love the process, and I tend to focus on that. And that's part of the entrepreneurial spirit. And people always ask me, well, you're a doctor. Like, why don't you just go work full time, be a doctor? You make a lot of money. And I say, yeah, I did. I didn't really like what I was doing because I wasn't feeling like I was making an impact. And now I focus more on how do I make an impact. If I make a big enough impact, the financial stability will come. I'll be completely honest. I'm not making nearly as much money, about half. Honestly, I'm making half of what I made a year ago when I was a full-time doc. But I feel like I have a much bigger impact now, and that's more important to me. So I'll continue doing what I'm doing, continue to iterate, continue to tweak, continue to invest in myself, and I'm still working on incorporating more rest. About to leave for a couple days on a trip to San Fran. That should be nice, and then I'm gonna go spend time with my sister. So there's some rest opportunities there. All right, thank you for listening to Wellness Journey Monday. We'll see you again next week.